Alright guys, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to Philo in the Philippines, Barangay Dalabago, AngelesCity. Today's subject, I'm going to try to do a little editorial piece here. Some journalistic editorial type stuff, which I'm not really very good at. I'm not a huge fan of talking head videos, but here goes. This is something that some of you may or may not have already heard of. It is Republic Act 11934, which is the SIM Card Registration Act, just signed by Marcos on Monday the 10th. Okay. What does it mean? It basically means, in a nutshell, every SIM card must be registered with the telecommunications company that is your provider, be it Smart, Globe, TNT. I know there's a few others. I'm just using that as an example. So, let's say here, I'm going to recite to you from memory. I've read 4 different news articles on this, so I'm just, don't kill the messenger if I get something wrong. I'm also going to include the links to the news agencies I am using to give you this information, okay? It says here on Philstar Global, agencies will still have to come up with implementing rules and regulations for the measure. But Marcos noted in his speech on Monday that SIM card registration will give law enforcement agencies tools needed to resolve crimes perpetrated by the use of these SIM cards, as well as providing a strong deterrence against the commission of wrongdoing. Now, this whole thing came about to try and deter the text spamming that you get, and you do get quite a bit of it here on I'm on Smart. You do get quite a bit of text spam. I get probably 2 or 3 a day that are trying to get me to basically click on a link and provide information. Okay, it's a phishing text scam. There is a lot of it. It seems to me that the bigger problem, though, comes from IP addresses, not SIM cards. And we'll go into that a little bit later. So right now, it's not law yet. It's just been signed, okay? As I said, agencies will still have to come up with implementing rules and regulations, which means they don't yet know how they're going to roll this out, okay? It's just by signing the bill, he's given the go-ahead for Smart, Globe to come up with how they're going to do this. Also, what's interesting about this is Smart, Globe, all of the big telecommunications companies that exist here in the Philippines are going to have to submit a list of authorized sellers to the government. And I've seen this on 2 different news articles. So what that brings up in my mind is, what about all the sorry stores that sell SIM cards? Because you can buy a SIM card just about anywhere. What about the 100 shops on Fields Avenue, that you can buy a SIM card from? What's going to happen with them? So you see, there's a lot of work that needs to be done on this before it can be implemented. And they are also not exactly sure what are they going to do as far as registration of the SIM card. Now, when a tourist comes in and buys the SIM card, it's going to be up to the seller to have that tourist fill out a form, okay? Now, for existing SIM card users, like any expat like myself, anybody who lives here and who has a SIM, they are going to give existing users 180 days to register that SIM card. Keep in mind now, the SIM card is just your Philippines phone number, and if you don't register within that 180 days, Smart is just going to shut the card down, and that phone number will no longer exist. I read another article that said any tourist that's coming in and registers a SIM card, that SIM card is only going to be valid for 30 days. Now, some of you are going to be fine with that. Some of you are going to say, well, that's not a problem for me. I never come for more than 2 weeks. I'm a 2-week millionaire. That's not a problem. But some of you come for 6, 8 weeks. I've got I've got friends living here in the building that come for 4 to 6 months at a time, and then they go back and work, and then they come back again. So obviously there's going to be something that's going to have to change with that, because there's a lot of tourism here where people stay for more than 30 days. Okay, so a list of the requirements. This is going to be this is just listed as requirements, not, and there's also a requirement for foreign nationals. So we're going to go over the general requirements in the law to start out with, and that is full name, complete address, date of birth, gender, cell phone number of the SIM card, and serial number. Now, they must also present an original and true copy of any government ID, and I know what you're thinking. Philippines national ID, driver's license, SSS, UMID card, which I don't know what that is, passport, senior citizens card, NBI clearance, police clearance, a firearms license is valid, a voter's ID, a TIN ID, PRC ID, I don't know what that is, OWWA, PWD card, or a school ID for minors. Now, granted, I don't know what some of those are. Some of those are national ID types. And now the requirements for a foreign national: full name, obviously, nationality, passport number, and address in the Philippines, which is also going to be a bit of a problem. Most tourists who come here don't have a permanent address. They're probably just going to, as you have seen before with different things that you fill out as a tourist, they'll just use the hotel you're staying at. And they will be asked to provide the following documents. This is foreign national, you guys. This is for the tourists who are coming in. A return or departure ticket, passport, proof of address in the Philippines, alien employment permit, alien certificate of registration. So this is not only covering tourists, it's covering residents too, like myself. I'm on an SRRV visa. Obviously, you're not going to have an ACR card if you're a tourist. School registration ID for student visas, or other pertinent documents, which they haven't. Again, this is ongoing. This is going to update as time goes on. It's going to change a little bit. Registered SIM cards of tourists are only valid for 30 days. That's what it says. Only valid for 30 days. A person can buy or register a SIM card for another person as long as they are authorized through a duly notarized special power of attorney, which isn't going to happen here. But now this raises another issue here. Believe it or not, you guys, there's a lot of people here, a lot of people who have no ID card at all. They've got absolutely nothing. And the reason for that is the fact that maybe they were born in the province, maybe there's problems with their birth certificate. That's always a big deal. There's something spelled wrong on the birth certificate. But they do make it easy, if you have all of these documents, to get the national ID. We saw a big office over at Marquee Mall that's there specifically for the national ID. So this is not only a push to evade cybercrime and cut down on spam, text spam, and spam messages, things of that nature. It's also a push to get the Filipinos to get that national ID. Okay, that's something that, and I've seen that in several of the news articles. I'll try to link everything that I've read down below so you guys can see it too, and you'll have an opportunity to read the story just like I did. Maybe you'll see something in there that I didn't. It says here that an extension of 120 days can be given upon a valid written request to the Department of Information and Communications Technology. But come on, if they're giving you 6 months to register your SIM card, that's got to be more than enough. Something else, okay, that I've thought of. It says failure to comply will lead to SIM card deactivation. Now, something else that I have thought about is it's easy enough for them to make you fill out a paperwork form. They love paper. You guys know they love paperwork in the Philippines, right? They absolutely love paperwork here. So if you're coming in from Australia, you're coming in from the UK, you're going to buy a SIM card, you're going to fill out by hand a form. Now, what about those of us who already have a SIM card? What are they going to do for us? What's going to be are we going to have to go to an office somewhere and do this? Or I'm thinking what they're going to do is they're going to develop an online form. So when you go to buy load, you go to reload your phone, if you're on Smart SIM, or Smart Globe, whatever, then you'll be asked to get in line and fill out that form. Maybe it's going to be an online thing to get your SIM card registered. Maybe it's going to be an app that you download to your phone, like One Health Pass. Maybe it's a website you can go to. One Health Pass is an app and a website. Maybe it's going to be something like that. Again, things go kind of slow here. So Marcos just got the ball rolling by signing that bill, okay? The rest of it is going to happen over time because they've got to come up with these avenues to roll this out, okay? Anyway, you guys, that is going to be about all on the video. I hope it made sense. I hope I'm not just rambling. And there you go. That's it. That is Republic Act 11934, the SIM Card Registration Act. Let's talk about security risks on this. Written on the Philstar Global, it says the Computer Professionals Union, an organization of ICT professionals and advocates, warned that mandatory SIM card registration has been proven ineffective in addressing crime and further endangers people's information. The CPU on Monday stressed that mandatory SIM registration puts at risk our right to privacy and data protection, adding that mandatory registration in other countries has been shown to be ineffective and that has its ill effects as seen in other countries that have implemented it. The group further noted that SIM card registration law does not directly solve the problems that lead to crime. Crime is rampant in the Philippines because of poverty, joblessness, inequality, and exploitation, the CPU said. So there you go, you guys. That's that is Republic Act 11934. That's all I know. I'm just a messenger. I don't condone it. I don't reject it. I live here and I'll register mine just like the rest of us. We're going to have to do it. That's either that or we lose our phone number, which is connected to so many things. It's connected to your Gcash. It's connected to your PayMaya account. It's connected to your bank account. It just really sucks when you have to change your phone number here. As it does even in the US. There's no difference. Anyway, I hope you guys got something out of that. I certainly did. I studied it for 2 or 3 days before I made the video. And that's going to be it. Don't forget to go to Philo in the Philippines on Facebook. Just look me up on that, take that little search bar, type in Philo in the Philippines, and when you find it, just like that page. You'll get to see everything I post, which is a pre-look at an upcoming vlog. And also it might be a great dinner that we had at some Clark or somewhere in the city. And I want to thank you guys for supporting the channel. And don't forget, we've got a live stream on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Okay? Thanks again, you guys, for your support. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next video. Bye now.